formula is broken. You know that, right? You guys know about the formula? The formula that I'm talking about? Well, let me read that out to you. Alright, Sandra Spielberg gets it. So, what exactly is that formula? The formula is a young male founder in a garage in Silicon Valley. He's Caucasian, Indian or Asian, and a programmer, alright? He's a co-founder in the same demographic. He's accepted into the fancy name incubator, where he spends 3 months focusing on how to turn his idea into a business and learning how to pitch for venture capital. He receives incubator and angel funds and spends the next year attempting to figure out how to prove traction. If only he had more funding, he thinks. He pitches to venture capitalists. He drops into the conversation that he was indeed number one in his 9th grade class and top 20 under 20 because #humble brag. Then, based on the untethered optimism and fictitious valuation, not rooted in any kind of fundamentals of business, that is revenue and profit, he closes his Series A funding. TechCrunch writes about him, and the hype circus is now open for business. He's exhausted from the fundraising round, but he uses whatever adrenaline he can to build the company. He hires a team of programmers and some equally expensive adults in the room. He leases a shiny office in San Francisco with a view of the lit-up suspension bridge and an endless smorgasbord of free food. Even though there's a business to build, he devotes most of his time to fundraising. Every round gets more tech press, gets more coverage, and increases the fictional valuation. His father posts the article on Facebook, the one that says his company is valued at 10 million. This gives him just about all the satisfaction he'll ever need to know that he's made it. His ego dances. This is the pinnacle. Never mind that there aren't any paying customers for anything. The company is now losing 3 million a year. He knows that every fundraising round dilutes his stake in the company, but he chalks up the math to the name of the game. The formula for startups, right? The way to build a new company. After all, with these VC names on his investor list, he's surely bound for success. Until the customers don't show up or don't stay, and the VCs stop coming to board meetings. The company limps along for another year or two, spending investors' money. He looks back at those TechCrunch articles he's printed in tiny font and puts it into his wallet. The real writing, though, is on the wall. You need paying customers. But he's not going to read it because what he needs is another round of funding. If he only had more funding, then his dream would come true. To be in the 0.05% of startups for whom investors still show up to the board meetings, eventually take the company public, liquidate equity via an IPO, and transfer the ongoing losses of the company to the public markets. Well, let me tell you, the formula is broken. Sandra Spielberg gets it. And I agree 100%. Alright, so let's go on. Head on to your story and take a look at the top story, shall we? So, I've got your story opened up right here. I'm looking at it on my laptop, and let's go on to the funding section, alright? What do you see? So, you've got this article, funding alert, you've got that in brackets. It says, Bira 91 raises 30 million led by Sequoia India and Safina to fuel its growth. US, you've got 30 million of borrowed money against fictional valuation and the founder giving away his equity, alright? So you've got Daily Hunt tops up Series G round with 38 crore from Belgium-based Safina. Funding alert, another highlight. So this is a Series G. So they've closed funding on Series A. Maybe they might have done a pre-series as well, who knows. So they've got A, B, C, D, E, F and G. So they've already begged for money 6 times. Alright, this is their 7th attempt. How much of an equity on this company do you think they have? Less than 1%, 0.5% against a fictional valuation, and you've got your story printing that out. All happy and proud. Alright. Now let's see, you've got another article here, funding alert. Logistics startup Loadshare raises 15 crore from CDC Group of UK. Alright, great. EdTech startup Goovy raises 6 crore in pre-series A round. So this is pre-series, alright. So this is probably when he started to put on that presentation. I don't think he's actually finished the presentation as of yet, and he's got that funding. Great. So now you've got Delhi-based NBFC's DMI raises 123 million from South Korean gaming company Nexon. So you've got this funding alert as well. Alright. Yeah, the clock agrees with me. And we've got another funding round, 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 and these funding rounds, they never seem to end. So you've got IT solution startup Indusface raises 5 million for Tata and Tata Capital Growth. You've got Native Angels Network invests 1.7 crore in daily product startup Uzarvar Bhumi. Alright, so you've got these edtech startups, you've got these startups, and you've got them begging for money. Alright, so allow me to bust Shraddha Sharma's excessive hype plus improbable outside outcome news. Let me make one thing very clear, right? You can't build and sustain a business by ignoring the fundamental principles of revenue and profitability. So Shraddha, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put your outsized ego bubble to the side, and I want to make it clear to my listener that you'll remain your investor's bitch if your business can't generate profitable revenue. The focus being on the word profitable, right? It's about making money, not raising money. It's about how much you keep, not about how much equity you give away. It's about profitability, not the debt funding you owe. So, if I've managed to piss off you little bitches, the little Oyo fan club boys and the groupie fangirls, I'm glad, alright? Now let me be upfront and straight. I'm the biggest fan of Masayoshi-san, alright? The man's got the greatest balls in business, 100 billion vision fund and everything under his belt. I'm all for that. However, that should not be your primary motivation to get into entrepreneurship. The writing is all over the fucking wall. We work, wink wink, alright? Masa himself has acknowledged that you can't stray away from the fundamentals for far too long, alright? And that's exactly what we are going to discuss and learn in future episodes. Getting the fundamentals right to get to that pot of gold as quickly as possible. So that is me, Umran from Digital Entrepreneur. And this was an episode on entrepreneurship mindset. The formula is broken. I'll see you on the other side. Cheers.